You want the summary of Fartgate?
Yeah.
So Mike Francesa is doing like one of his, soliloquies, and it's like 90% sure he cuts a fart. It's small. It's not
And like
even
a pro, he kept going.
He keeps going, right? Like he's on serious.
Okay, can we hear this clip?
And sure.
I don't usually make rash decisions with coaches. I try to be reasonable.
I'll let you know when it's coming.
I understand what their livelihood is.
What's wrong with his voice?
Yeah, it sounds like he's like just at a funeral or he's been screaming a lot.
I don't want to talk too loud. I'm sucking on some lemons before.
I mean, it's been a tough week in the ratings for him, so he might have been screaming at like his manager.
That was the other thing. He lost the ratings
Michael
battle
Caine,
to ESPN for the first time in a million years.
Right.
And rather than being, the bigger person, like he said some heel promo about it, like everyone gets lucky or something.
No,
like
what
that.
he said was, I beat them 1,000,000 times in a row. It's like a football game. You're up 72-0, and the guy gets a touchdown on you, and he does an end zone dance. That's what it's like celebrating that.
Yeah, that was it. And it was like, what? Get out of here!
Just shut up. You lost. I mean, the other shows scumbags just like him. Like, there's no reason for me to be happy that he lost, except the fact that he's going to swarm.
It's like when Trump goes after another Republican. Like you hate both of them, but like it's so great to have like Trump like with his heel fury at someone you also hate.
Marco Rubio.
Or like anytime he fires somebody, it's hilarious to watch how he John Bolton.
Yeah, well,
he's an idiot. He started the Iraq War.
These like elite upper crust scumbags that have never faced any pushback to anything they've wanted to do in their life, and now this like sack of gummy bears waddles into the White House and has the authority to like suddenly tell them that they can't do something.
The thing that always impressed me too is how he just terribly shits on someone as they're fired, but it's like you hired this person. Like nobody acknowledges that.
I was medicated on NyQuil at the time. Doesn't count.
All right, so let's get back
coaches.
to
I try to be reasonable. I understand what their livelihood is. I understand how much time.
He sounds so somber, like he's at a funeral.
Time they put into it. I've been around a lot of coaches. I understand how much work they put into this, especially NFL head coaches. But when you cannot function, when you're not functioning as a franchise.
Let's go back. Yeah.
But when you cannot function, you're not functioning
such a sad little dusty fart.
It sounds like his voice.
Also, it's hilarious that he says "but" immediately.
Right,
He
summoned it.
Can we do an A/B comparison between the fart and his laugh?
Sure.
But when you cannot
he laughs like he farts.
Cannot function.
Oh, I got confused because I didn't think that was a laugh. I thought it was like some random noise that came.
I
cannot
think it was
function.
like a sly laugh.
When you're not functioning.
So then apparently.
But wait, I just want to get back to what you said, that he said, but it's like he summoned the fart. It's like his butt wasn't paying attention. Oh, me?
It's like an Alexa. It works on voice automation now.
But can you remind me what Mons' birthday is?
When you cannot function.
I want to hear someone like isolate that fart and just let it play for like a whole 4-hour show while he's talking. Like,
oh my God! Well, there's not going to be many more of those 4-hour shows.
That's right. No, he's still going to do his show. He's just not going to do it on FAN anymore.
Oh, so it's just going to be on his app?
It's going to be or on radio.com.
Oh.
Yeah, some shit nobody fucking ever listens to.
Well, here's the thing. No, that's big money. That's big money. That's the thing.
Why?
All of these streaming outlets, they're looking. It's like kind of like Netflix and like the wars with like Netflix and Hulu and all of these platforms. All of these big audio streaming platforms are now looking for their talent, and they're giving out big payouts.
So can I ask you, since you know something more about this than I do, like, all right, so he leaves FAN, right? He goes to radio.com. Now, I listen to, for some dumb reason, the Mike Francesa show. How is that content delivered to my station? How is that content delivered to me?
App
in my house?
Or website?
But so I have to go to radio.com. And
there's an app. You could download the app and you'll just have it on your phone.
But so they just have like lots of different shows, and I just look through. I don't think people are really going to listen to this shit. To be honest with you, especially the old fucks.
But that's what they're banking on. They're banking on his audience.
He's going to send Mons to the home of each retirement age listener to install the app on their phone and show them how to do it.
And give them a flyer.
Yeah.
Mons, you got to check it's plugged in. A lot of these people.
Whoever owns WFAN owns radio.com.
Okay.
So
I don't know, man. I don't see people going out of their way for a radio show.
Well, I think it also just kind of shows how like not important he is to the radio show. So they're like, all right, well, go on the.
Yeah,
we'll have you on the. I'm trying to read.
I
this,
think it's the opposite.
release.
I think I'm sorry, but I just think that you can put a potted plant on in that time slot, and like people just are driving in their car and they want the updates and stuff. Like they don't. I don't think there's anything that he's getting ratings. So like
So here's the quote from the radio.com person.
Okay.
Mike Francesa will continue to be a part of WFAN. That's the station he's currently on. And will soon also have an expanded role on radio.com. While we're still finalizing details, this is an exciting move to bring more of Mike's iconic sports talk
and farts
to fans across broadcast and digital in new, engaging ways wherever and however loyal sports fans wanted. What does that mean? That's such corporate talk.
Rob.
It's a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
So then the New York Daily News wrote a story about
the fart.
With the headline, Mike Francesa appears to rip fart while ripping Adam Gase.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the head coach of the Jets. Yeah. I love that they just rips fart. They don't even like dress it up.
I like though, but the URL doesn't have rip fart.
Wasn't he on the Larry Sanders show?
Oh, rest in peace.
I like, but also though they prevent the lawsuit because it appears to rip fart. They don't want
be a defamation.
What, you get sued that someone said you farted? Is that like a thing?
You can sue for whatever you want. You're gonna go to court.
But how's that negative? People fart. Like that's a
lie.
Mike
it was the chair.
Never farted.
And he's not a person. He's a broadcaster.
I just look at the official Daily News headline is Mike Francesa rips fart. Possible shart.
So then he acknowledged this article on the air.
You know, I just wanted to know what your thoughts were. The Daily News came out with an article that you ripped a fart. I just want to know your point on what your.
This is why there is no other bastion of broadcasting like sports radio. Like where else? Like could you imagine like Meet the Press? You know,
they don't take calls.
I got one question. How did that guy not laugh? Saying he couldn't even get through Mike Francesa farting without laughing. How did he not? I heard that you ripped a fart.
So, do you have any comment on ripping a fart?
I'll hang up and listen to you fart and answer.
When you were ripping Adam Gase, you know, I just wanted to know what your thoughts were. The Daily News came out with an article that you ripped a fart. I just want to know your point on what your.
Oh, he gets so mad.
What are you talking about?
Now he pretends to not know.
Do you think he knows?
I mean,
hold on. So all right. I guess he's seen the article. Though. He has to. He's such a narcissist.
I don't think
he got the
knows.
Google alert right
At that
away.
point, I don't think he knows.
No,
but really, because that's what I was going to ask you. Because like maybe he really doesn't know that he farted in the first place. Like, because he's such a massive. Like,
I think he knows that he farted, and he's in such like disbelief that someone heard it. That he's like processing it and trying to deny it at the same time.
All right, let's
hear. So he's going through chaos right now.
Those are some good mics, boy.
You're just a moron. I mean, now, Mons, what are you sending me a headline that says what?
Wait, can we go back? Like,
I love. I'm going to preview this because the best part of this to me is Mike Francesa reads the headline that he ripped a fart. Mike Francesa rips fart.
That's why I think he didn't know. Otherwise, I don't think he would have read it.
I think that listening to I asked you, I didn't know, but now listening to that again, I think he knows.
You know what? It might be one of those things where like everyone in the building is so afraid of his bad moods that they like got rid of all copies of the Daily News. They blocked the website from all office computers just in the hope that he wouldn't see it. And then this motherfucker calls in, lies about what he's gonna say, and then Mon's like, "Oh fuck, I guess I have to send him the link."
This is, you know, this is weird. I'm trying to find some horse racing results, and the Daily News is totally down. I don't get it.
We got our interview in 4 minutes, so let's just power through this clip really
What are
quickly.
you talking about? I mean, I don't know what. You're just a moron. I mean, now, Mons, what are you sending me a headline that says what? They actually wrote a headline that said that?
Yeah.
Oh, little
Mods is
appearance
cracking the
mods.
fuck up right now.
Okay.
Okay.
He's clicking around.
I don't think he knows.
Okay.
Mons has been stabbing his thigh
Wait a
with a
second, I'm
safety
gonna read
pin the
the
whole
headline.
fucking morning. Just
Mike
to
Francesa
prevent
appears
himself
to
from
rip
laughing.
fought while ripping Adam Gase. Now, Mike Francesa appears to rip fought while ripping Adam Gase.
He paused
Now,
waiting to see.
here's the
think
thing:
if he
the
should
5 minute
censor
morning, which
fart.
Anthony tapes in the morning. First of all, it didn't happen. It's a complete lie, which Daily News lies all the time. Secondly, Anthony has to tape that and put it up. If we had something happen, why would we put it up? It's not on live.
Because they hate you.
If we had
They don't
something,
listen.
if we had something
Yeah, they're not
happen,
paying attention.
Yeah.
he's saying it like Hiroshima happened in his pants. If something happened, and also besides that, like why this wasn't even live? Why would they put it? Because they didn't catch that he farted.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that loud. Maybe he just missed it.
They were just
It's
in the
actually
back
something
talking.
we
They weren't
tape
really
and
listening to
put
the
up.
broadcast.
So we would never put it up. It's not up live, you morons. So if that ever happened, we would stop tape. It would never happen. It's a complete, I swear on my kid's life, it's a fabrication. Shows you should never believe anything that these morons write. I mean, listen, they stoop to a lot of levels.
This just in: Mike Francesa's children dropped dead in the street, related to his swear about not having farted.
That just shows you. We tape those every morning.
What a scumbag.
Yeah.
To go after...
And to like reveal behind the curtain so much just
And
to protect his own ass
on
integrity.
His own ass integrity. On top of all that, farting in the studio with all these people here. What does that smell like?
Anthony turns them around.
Gabagool.
Okay? They're not done live. Anthony has to.
He's just repeating himself.
Yeah,
He's
like,
so
did anyone
frustrated.
say it was live?
Yeah.
Well, he's alleging that if he had farted,
I think
it wouldn't come through because they wouldn't post it.
Well,
I think he is short circuiting right now. And he's thinking about the meeting that he's gonna set up after this
Anthony's
show.
definitely getting fired. He's
Anthony
said
definitely
Anthony's
got
name like
fired.
20 times already. That guy is gone.
Yep.
Oh, he did not fart. It is fake news, okay?
He definitely set up a best practices meeting after.
Yeah. Well, there's like 3 more videos of this, of him denying that he farted.
Let's get a little more from...
Yeah, let's get back to Fartgate.
Fartgate.
Enough of this sushi talk.
So, okay, let's hear a little bit of this.
Take it and edit it
He's still
and put it
explaining
up. Okay, now on radio.com. Why would we do it if we had something happen that we weren't happy with? We can stop it, we can do it over, and Anthony can edit it. So it's not live.
Fucking
So
Anthony.
why would that ever happen? First of all, it would never happen, number one.
Anthony definitely
Secondly,
can't edit it
how
anymore
would
'cause
you...
he's fired.
So you're
Yeah.
telling me you heard
Unless
the
it's
noise?
like his nephew
No.
and he has to keep him employed.
I mean,
it's just,
Well,
the bane
I
of
think
his
now he
existence.
can't fire Anthony because then it would give away that it was
yeah,
a fart.
Yeah, it's true.
No, they'll just hire another Anthony and nobody will ever know.
Maybe he went into the program director's office after this and he's like, that's it. It's either me or Anthony. And they're like, all right, Mike, maybe it's time for you to go to radio.com. We actually like
That's
Anthony.
what happens. Yeah.
And so now then there's a second part.
Because there is not one kernel of truth about that.
There's a couple
on
of
any
kernels
kind-
in his drawers.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He fired him right out there.
Telling you the process that we go through with the 5 minute warning, we turn them around. They are taped, and they're edited by Anthony. Anthony, did that
Again?
happen this morning? Look, he's shaking his head. No, of course it didn't happen.
Oh,
he
wow.
tapes them for me every morning. Right. I mean, just to show you how ridiculous
Use your microphone
this stuff
voice,
is,
Anthony.
folks,
Come on.
and offensive and crude. I mean, my God, there's no chance that would ever happen. Number
Offensive
one.
and crude.
Number
The guy that just shit his pants on the air is saying someone else is offensive and crude.
Unbelievable.
I think
two,
this
if
is way worse than not owning up to it.
Yeah,
Right.
just And he
Say
never
that
owns
part.
up to anything. He's never been wrong in his life.
But why is farting wrong?
But even like, okay, even if you don't want to admit it, just drop it. Move on. No, I didn't. Next.
Dropped enough already, I think. I did not, in fact, drop it. This was fake news, okay?
Something ever happened accidentally, we would stop the tape and start over, which we have the ability to.
What tape? There's no tape. This is how behind the times he is. There's
Something happened.
We would stop the tape.
When we go to radio.com, okay, there's not going to be actual tape, I am told.
When you go to radio.com, you see Anthony in the studio. He pops the tape in when you hit play, and then every time you hit play, he has to pop a tape in.
Okay. Anthony, I'm being told that there's no actual tape I'm hearing. Is this correct?
Diskette.
A diskette, maybe a floppy. It's just kind of like what my farts are, floppy. Sometimes it's solid, but
Reel to reel.
Got them loose ass lips.
Loose ass lips in here. It's tuchus. Tuchus is very, very floppy.
Do you think
like
Mike Francesa has ever said tuchus?
Tuchus, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe in bed with Ro sometimes.
Oh, no.
Ro, can I get at that tuchus?
Oh, my God.
Ro, turn over. I'm not into making kids tonight, okay? We got enough. I'm going to go through the back door, the tuchus.
Do it Mon style.
Mon style. Mons is Greek. He's half Greek. He likes the booty. Likes the back door. Old Hershey Highway. Okay. And Ro, don't deny it like I did on the air. You know, and this is a fact, and anyone listening to my show knows this. You queef through the whole sexual process, okay? And there's no denying it. There is tape.
Look, it's fine. We can stop the tape.
It is tape. Now, actually, he would defend her, I think. He's a gentleman.
Or if she was guilty, he would just divorce her.
If Ro had queefed, okay, we would have stopped the tape. As simple as that, folks.
Anthony was in there.
Anthony was in
Very
it.
easily tell her to stop the tape. Pull out.
We have a production studio, right? There's a glass wall.
Oh, my God.
He can peer in to me banging away.
They bring him Diet Coke.
Diet Coke during the process. I get very sweaty.
Oh, my God.
I'm like a manatee.
They screen calls for him.
You waited online for 90 full minutes while I was jackhammering Ro. And just to say that, you were a fool. You were a fool. You are probably the reason why, if Ro had queefed, that she had queefed. Of course, she didn't. Completely made up. But no.
You're
no
the one
queef.
full of hot air.
So just because these Daily News morons like to say this stuff about me, let me clarify for you. We're into the 4th hour of his clarification. It was not a fart. It was not a fart. It was 2 of my belly rolls gyrating together and generating air suction. For your information, if you must know. Not that anyone wants to be talking about this.
Oh, my God.
And the funny thing is, that's probably like the most insightful and interesting thing he said on his show in like 3 weeks. Him talking about a fart that he did or didn't produce from his butt.
Do it any moment. It's not live. Morons.
Yeah,
Just shows you, folks,
the
if
morons
you
are the
take one
people
word-
saying that he farted when he clearly farted, not the guy denying it for 80 minutes on fucking live radio. That's
That
not the
either the
moron.
News and Post writes about me at face value. You are out of your minds, because it's to the point now, and this is what has happened because of what
So can I
happens
just
now
cut
on
in for
social
1
media.
second? So you talked about how you could put anyone on the air because most people just want to hear their sports scores and blah, blah, blah. Sure. So for that segment of his audience that have stayed with him and not jumped to ESPN radio, how many minutes of this before they're like, you know what, let's see what's going on that other station?
I guarantee you they're not talking about whether they farted or not.
Jesus Christ. And then maybe they're like, all right, 10 minutes of Mike. Okay, let's see. Mike's got to be talking about something else by now. They jump back. He's still talking about the fucking
Newspapers think
fart.
they can write
Yeah,
anything
imagine
they want
that
now.
car rides like, dude, and my fart. I didn't fart. I swear my.
I just want the giant squirrel. What the fuck is this?
I swear on my kid's life, I didn't fart.
What a thing to ever say. Oh, my God.
Let's go over to Michael K now. Oh, yeah. This guy sucks. Let's go back. My wife queefing.
Wait, what does it say? New York Times? Mike Francesa rips a font?
Rips a font.
This is the quality programming you can hear on radio.com coming up in the near future. Find a very big deck. Can't reveal all the documentation at the moment or the details, but I will be talking about my farting habits.
Special
Now, too, because on
podcast.
social media you can say anything you want. So now the newspapers, to compete, think they can say anything they want. There is not one iota of truth in that.
How many iotas was that fart? It's like at least an 8 iota ripper.
Now, I wouldn't waste my time going after them for something like
The
that.
listener's
I don't even
time
know
he'd
that I could
gladly
prove
waste.
damage.
His own,
I
not
don't
so
think
much.
it's damaging. But just to show you how ridiculous it is and offensive it is and stupid it is, just understand the 5-minute morning, the commentaries we tape on.
Oh, it just faded out.
Is there more?
There's
There might
another.
be
There's like
So why
4
would we,
videos.
if something happened,
The
why
tape
would we
ended. They
not
had to
edit it
restart
out?
a
We
new
That
one.
was Anthony lowering his mic.
Oh, this is the same video.
We
with a
gotta
picture?
go to
That was the
And
same.
nothing happened.
I didn't pause.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
the audio.
They
dipped out.
probably have to go to take a commercial break. You know, those are scheduled on the hour, and he
No.
won't let them go.
A little clip. Let's cut the commercial. Okay, I gotta keep talking about my farts.
It's him just talking over the commercials about
So
his
there's
fart.
even more.
You know what I think actually happened during that pause? Anthony had to go change the reel-to-reel tape.
Oh, my
You had
God.
to change the tape. There's so much talking.
It really is a tape.
Yeah.
And it just, you know what? It's. I wouldn't even comment except somebody brought it up on the show. The garbage that these guys, the distortion, and they got right. I haven't even heard of the people when this stuff is sent to me because I don't look at it.
The distortion
So
came from his asshole.
I just want to say, I feel like I don't care about sports. I am such a this is so engaging.
See, you'd go to radio.com for this.
I would listen to this.
You don't want to know whether Adam Gaze's job's on the line, Rob?
When it's sent to me, I never recognize the bylines because these people now, they find who write this stuff, never heard of any of them.
Oh, just
And
big
they're
time
told to
English
write this
sports
stuff so
writing.
they can get page hits. It's probably the guy who called.
Yes, they write stuff so they can get
Did
paychecks.
he
Correct.
just? Is he about to say that the caller who said the thing is the guy who wrote the article trying to get publicity?
I didn't catch that.
I think that's what he's
Let me go
about to
back a
say.
little bit.
Stuff never heard any of them. And they're told to write this stuff so they can get page hits. It's probably the guy who called who's probably the guy who wrote it because all it's about.
Oh,
folks,
my
is
God!
getting Page clicks.
He's losing it.
Wow! Wow!
Fonts cannot melt steel beams, people.
Mike Francesa rips apart sports writer who wrote the article about Mike Francesa ripping farts.
Oh my God!
Just want you to know, people, the Loch Ness Monster is alive and well. I probably call into the show to deny that the Loch Ness Monster exists. I want you to know that he exists and I did not fart at all, okay? All right? Back after this. Back after this fart.
Meanwhile, if it was the writer who called in, then he's just rewarding him by now giving him a whole extra article he could write on the fucking
exactly.
aftermath.
Mike Francesa denied he supplied it. Someone wrote that in one of these. That was one of the headlines in these Deadspin articles or something.
Mike Francesa falls flat on defending flatulence.
He brought so much more attention to this that
Yes.
now everybody's
now
writing.
that a metal podcast is talking about
Now
it.
he can never fart again, by the way, on the air.
So there's another
Well, he
part.
doesn't, Darren. Haven't you been listening?
But he knows he farted. Come on, he can never has to cut out his 1 p.m. scongeal now. He can't even fucking eat lunch before.
He doesn't
He's
realize
like Beano.
the cover-up is always worse than the crime.
Yes,
Agreed.
100%.
Always. So here's part 3.
And people jump on stuff with my name on it. So they create something like that, which never, ever happen, but they do it all the time. All the time they make stuff up. All the time.
victim.
So when the president unfortunately talks fake news, he's not lying. And it's all started because of
I mean, I'm not surprised it went here because he's been doing a fake news rant now for like 7 minutes.
Right.
social media. Because they don't have, they can say whatever they want. Because there's no policing of that. And now the newspapers are the same way. They say anything they want.
Can we just stop this for a second and absorb the fact that he's talking about a fart? He's talking about whether they. He's not talking about like someone said he was with hookers, or like he did coke, or he went to like a Dominican island.
Whatever they want. They could just say, "I came on the end. I didn't comb my hair." This fake news.
They're not saying he went like Rush Limbaugh to the Dominican to have sex with a 15-year-old. They're not saying he robbed a bank. They're saying he farted. This is what he's triggered from. That he farted.
It's a human process.
And on top of that, he very clearly farted. Or somebody in that motherfucking studio farted.
Anthony!
Well, he was the only one on mic, so.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
All
to
mics
me.
point to him.
Those are great fucking mics, by the way. I have to say. Like, he's let's think about this.
Like
He's like
$500.
He's like 270 pounds. Gotta be easy. He's wearing a lot of clothes. He's sitting in a chair.
There's no airspace between those thighs.
Right.
For the noise to come up, so it's got to penetrate a lot.
He's absorbing a lot of that sound.
Yeah.
He's like a giant mic cover.
Right.
And then to still hear the fart with such quality, that is a good setup. Yeah.
Good job, Anthony.
I
Maybe
would
we'll
say
hire
if
you
the stuff
here
I've
if Mike fires you.
Yeah.
read about me in those rags, not a half of it is true.
Not half of it.
Half the fart was
Wait,
true.
so not a half of it is true. So he's saying that 40% of it is true.
which 40?
I half farted. 49.1% of that fart was correct. It was more of a little peeper. Little poop.
And that, I can tell you right now, you can ask Anthony, never happened. Why would we let it happen? We tape those
Let it
and
happen.
edit. We
Oh, my
edit them.
God, again.
They're cut down to time, and they are edited every day. They're not live.
This is now pushing
Another thing he has in common with Trump, he just says the same thing over and over again.
He has to fill time. Trump doesn't, so he has an excuse at least. This is like 11% of his show for the day right
Seriously.
Yeah, all of Mons' hard work that went into show prep out the window.
now. Can you imagine? I don't know if Mons should be either happy or sad that he's collecting a paycheck for just producing a guy talking about his farts for like 4.5 hours.
I mean, that's sort of what we do. And I
Yes,
bet Mons
but-
makes more than we do for this show.
But the thing is, like, with our show, there's no pretense. Like,
That's
you know
true.
we're going to talk about farts and
Yeah.
shit and dick and fucking stupid songs. This is like, he's supposed to be talking about sports.
Yeah.
And he's talking about fucking crapping his pants. It's hilarious.
Oh,
I love it. I love this. This is the only
Yes.
So it
good
just
way that you can listen to Mike Francesa
Yeah.
and be entertained by it.
Shows you how ridiculous that is. I just, you know what? Folks, I'm telling you, don't even go there. Just go to radio.com, get the stuff, and listen to it for yourself. Okay,
Unvarnished farts.
there's nothing on there that even. I mean, if they put something like that in, they created it themselves. Because it never.
Hold
ever-
on.
Now he's saying they've altered the footage.
Yes.
Doctored.
Doctored
Yes.
the footage.
They put in a sound, a fart sound effect
yeah.
on my broadcast.
And let's just say, to be clear, if they did do that, bravo.
God bless him.
Somebody broke into the studio and tampered with the 360 machine.
Somebody broke into the studio, paused the videotape, cut in a fart sound, pasted the tape back together.
with actual Scotch tape, because that's the tapes that we use here. Wow. Master trolling, whoever put that fart in, if he didn't fart. Bless you. Bless your heart.
Never happened. I swear on my kids it never happened.
Again,
Okay?
Again?
And that's, like I said, half of what they write is lies. At least half.
At least
And they
half.
do it so they can get
Have
paid.
you ever been that confident in your life that you didn't fart at a given time?
Nope,
I can't say as I have.
definitely not.
Not 100% I cannot say at any time. If you gave me a 5-minute window that I didn't
50-50.
fart, I would never risk anyone's life that I
No.
cared about.
Especially like your own kin.
And no one asked him to risk anyone's life.
It just
He
seems a little too
voluntarily-
extreme to like swear on your kids over this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, he
even,
has to show that he didn't fart.
but
He's so
even okay,
mortified.
like even let's
So
like look,
stupid.
okay, I believe you didn't.
Is this
you don't have to
child
swear.
abuse?
Yeah, like
I don't believe him. Sorry.
But even I'm just saying, like, for the sake of the argument, even if I do, like, I'm on your side, like, don't fucking swear on your kids.
Bro, I had to tell them I'm sorry. This is the conversation later that night. I did fart, but I had to do it. I had to tell them that I had to swear on Jack's life. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Back after this.
The next headline is that social services come to Mike Francesa's home.
Is that a
swearing on kids'
violation?
life.
Can you take kids away because you swore on their life that you didn't fart?
He'd be thrilled if they took the kids away. They
Oh,
probably
yeah.
fart all the time.
100%.
He wouldn't have to take him to WrestleMania next year.
Take them out of their area into the child services van.
Oh, Mike.
How do those kids are probably having to get away from those farts too?
Ugh.
Imagine what his farts smell like.
Oh,
No.
God.
Oh, my God.
Salami.
Fucking gabagool.
They smell like boiled eggs.
Smell like
Probably.
L&B Square.
He should be so lucky.
Clicks. That's all it's about, is getting people to go and check it out, because that's how those
A
rags
lot of
live
people
now.
are going to check it out now.
Well, they
now that you
barely
have this
stay
rant.
alive because they bleed money. Okay, so but that's the desperate world they're in now. Unfortunately, they're in a desperate world, and soon you'll be able to get your news in places where you don't even need them. So they're dying to keep.
Much like you can get your sports analysis.
Yeah. And not soon. This is like 5
Yeah.
years ago already.
I like now. We're like, pretty soon these newspapers they're gonna go away. Print media is gonna be a die. You better be careful.
Radio's fine, though.
Yeah,
We're doing great.
alive with creating, false headlines, lies. I see it all the time. Stuff that just
They
is
say all kinds of
completely
people
untrue.
are farting out here when they're
And here's
not.
another example of something that absolutely never, ever happened under any circumstances. Just to show you, it's outrageous how it really it's reached the point of ludicrous.
You remember in 1974, Daily News had the headline, Kissinger rips fart at United Nations. It was a dirty lie then, and it's a dirty lie now. You have a history of doing this.
If only that was the worst thing he did.
Yeah.
Kissinger explodes fart bomb over Cambodia. That was like a 80 megaton iota ripper. Any more, Mike?
I'm going to read the headline.
Oh.
Mike Francesa appears to rip fart while ripping Adam Gase.
That needs to be
Wait a
isolated.
second. I'm going to read the headline. Mike Francesa appears to rip fart while ripping Adam Gase.
I love how he hesitates
Fart.
over fart. Like, he doesn't know if he should say it or not, and he just gives in. I have to be journalistically accurate. Yeah.
Wait a second,
He rips.
I gotta read this.
Mike Francesa rips fart. It's
Thank
like
you.
Bill Cosby hesitating whether to say fuck when he calls Eddie Murphy in that bit. You cannot say fuck. Okay.
I want to once again give all the credit to Twitter account Back After This, AFTA.